After 162 regular season games and 3 rounds of postseason excitement, we are down to the final 2 teams in Major League Baseball. Our MLB experts Ryan Balick and Jake Sotir are here to break down the matchup between the Detroit Tigers and the San Francisco Giants in this year's Fall Classic. Now, guys, 2 very different LCSs in the National League and the American League, but which team do you guys think is coming in with more momentum?
Well, Joe, this is a pretty obvious answer, at least for me. I mean, the Giants just were down 3-2, go back to their house with an absolutely incredible atmosphere. The crowd's going crazy, waving their little orange towels in the pouring rain. They go and defeat and dominate the defending world champion St. Louis Cardinals 9-0, and then they get to celebrate on the field. And then 2 days later, they turn around and get to play in the World Series at home.
Yeah, no, it's a very easy pick to pick the Giants with the most momentum. But I'm gonna go on the other side. I'm gonna look at the Tigers because they've had enough rest where they're going to get the opportunity to start
6 days,
right? To start Justin Verlander in the first game, and then in the 4th game possibly, and in the 7th game. The San Francisco Giants have to go ahead and start Barry Zito the first game.
Yeah.
And if they choose to start Ryan Vogelsong in the 2nd game, he'll be working on 3 days rest. That's very, very tough to do, especially going up against this Tigers team that's got a phenomenal pitching staff.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Giants do have a lot of momentum, but you can't count out the Tigers.
But the rest could come back to hurt the Tigers. I mean, this is the exact same situation we had in 2006. The Tigers made the World Series after sweeping the Oakland Athletics, and then they faced the St. Louis Cardinals after they played 7 tough games with the New York Mets.
It's important to note, though, that
they lost.
They didn't just sweep the Yankees; they beat them down. So that's where their momentum is going to come from.
You know what? 2 obviously, like I said before, very different ways of it happening. But like you said, pitching staff is all set up for Detroit. It's going to be interesting to see. Now, let's talk about specific players here. Obviously, the pitching staff is going to play a big part, but what individual player do you guys think is going to have the most impact on their team's success?
Well, I'm going to look at Buster Posey, and here's why. He had a phenomenal season, MVP-like numbers. Batted .336, 24 home runs, 103 RBIs.
Huge in the second half of the season.
Exactly. He's the reason why the Giants are in the playoffs right now. But he's only batting .178 in this postseason. He's really got to pick it up, especially against this Tigers pitching staff that's so hard to beat. He's the Giants' best hitter. If you don't have your best hitter working well going into the World Series, you're not going to have success, especially against this pitching staff.
I agree. I think, I like the pick with Buster Posey just because the Giants are going to need to hit. But I think they're also, more importantly, going to need to pitch. The Tigers' pitching staff is so good, and that's why I think a guy that has had the craziest season of all, Tim Lincecum, could be really important. Now that he's coming out of the bullpen and pitching long efforts if starting pitchers can't do well, and he's actually stepped up and made some starts. This is a guy who started the season 3-10, finished 10-15 with an ERA of 5.18, when last year he finished with a 2.74 ERA. Tim Lincecum can pitch. Yeah. He dominated in the postseason.
You know what? If Tim Lincecum can contribute the way that he's been doing this postseason, finding a way for him to pitch for them is huge for their success. Now, 7 games to decide this for you guys. Detroit Tigers, San Francisco Giants. Who's coming away with the win?
I'm going to pick the Detroit Tigers in 5 games. I mean, I just think the Tigers are such a complete team. That it's so much pitching with Verlander, Scherzer, Sanchez, Pfister, and hitting with Delman Young's actually hitting. And
go figure.
Miguel Cabrera and Prince Fielder and Austin Jackson, there's so many weapons. And it's going to be so overwhelming. With Verlander's definitely going to win game 1, in my opinion. And then he's going to get the pitch, and then they're going to have 3 games at home.
Yeah, no,
Tigers win in 5.
I'm definitely picking the Tigers for that reason exactly. But the way this postseason's gone with all those series and the DSs going 5 games, I got to pick it this game, the series in 7. I got to have the Tigers in 7. It's going to be great. I can't see them going back to San Francisco, and if they're up 3-2, I can't see them closing it out in Game 6. The Giants are just too good at home. But if they do pitch Verlander in Game 7,
lights out. Game
exactly.
over.
They win. Tigers in 7.
Yeah. It has been a wild postseason. And you know what? Sometimes making sense doesn't matter. I'm going San Francisco Giants, 7 games.
All right.
Just for the sake of argument.
Yeah, why not?
Got to mix it up here. Time to step away, but when we come back, Kurt and our NFL experts break down which teams are contenders and which are pretenders. You're watching One-on-One Sports.